Think of a time when you were overwhelmed with your work or your life. A time when you lacked interest in what you were doing. You felt a sense of frustration or fear. Your mind, body, and heart seemed disconnected. A time when you wanted to do anything else than what you were doing. There seemed to be no purpose, no progress, no energy. Maybe you're feeling that in your work or your personal life right now. Now contrast that with a time when you were totally involved in what you were doing. You had energy, passion, desire, excitement. You felt on fire. Your mind wasn't wandering. Your skills were aligned to the task at hand. You became one with your environment. Time passed by quickly. You felt in control, focused, energized, strong, powerful. Now imagine that you and your students had the ability to craft that type of energy, focus, and engagement on a regular basis. At school, work, sports, extracurricular activities, their social life. What would school be like if your students felt more energized, on target, purposeful, and focused on a consistent basis? The great news? Professionals and students alike can be taught how to find their flow. It's not a magical trait only a few people are lucky enough to inherit. Flow can be learned and applied daily to help students reach these times of peak performance and full engagement. But maximizing personal performance and personal leadership development can be a complicated process. With so many theories, models, tools, and programs, how do you provide an individualized approach for student performance and engagement? The answer? Students can do it for themselves through this Gateway Workshop. While colleges and universities are filled with resources, most students lack a clear performance map to identify their current needs that will help them perform better. This is where Finding Your Flow comes in. Peak performance research has taught us two very important things. One, everyone has his or her own unique formula for success. And two, everyone must take personal responsibility to identify personal gaps in performance and leadership, acquire vital knowledge, skills, and strategies to close those gaps, and act on what matters most on a consistent basis over time. The Finding Your Flow program was designed for just this end, to give every student the framework and tools for lifelong personal leadership development and greater capacity to self-coach in order to improve performance in school, work, and life over the long term. The Finding Your Flow program combines the theoretical and the practical, giving each student the personal awareness, understanding, tools, and strategies to discover and close the gaps in their performance. All students leave with a clear plan of action and long-term program for personal leadership development that they can repeat over and over again. During the workshop, each student will take their personal flow assessment, or 720-degree sweep, to identify their flow assets and liabilities that make up their own personal flow formula. Using a number of experiential exercises and tools, each student works individually and in teams to develop an action plan and system to apply these powerful new strategies at school and in every other meaningful life arena they choose. This workshop helps every student open the door to their personal leadership development, and it directs their attention to other resources that are offered by your institution. The purpose and goal of the Finding Your Flow workshop is 1. To help every student achieve greater levels of personal effectiveness, more flow, and more well-being in school and any high-pressure, on-demand environment. 2. Provide each student with the framework, tools, and strategies for self-mastery and self-coaching. And 3. Increase performance at school, on the job, and in any meaningful life arena for life. It's time to help your students find their flow. Do you want to help every student in your institution achieve greater levels of personal effectiveness? Would you like to do this for yourself? Then consider Finding Your Flow for your students and give them the tools they need to progress on their own. Send us an email or call today and we can discuss both live and online training options and support tools to support you and your students in finding their flow each and every day of their lives.
Bruce H. Jackson has dedicated his career to the development of individuals, teams, and organizations that seek to maximize influence, leadership, and positive change. Bruce works with colleges, universities, Fortune 500 companies, and nonprofit institutions to develop and apply principles of focus, performance, and leadership. Bruce is the founder of the Institute of Applied Human Excellence, a training firm dedicated to helping individuals achieve peak performance. He wrote Finding Your Flow: How to Identify Your Flow Assets and Liabilities, the keys to peak performance every day, to help students and professionals increase awareness and clarify the principles, practices, and habits of exceptional performers. Bruce earned his doctorate in Human and Organizational Systems from Fielding Graduate University. His research there led to the development of Attentional Leadership Theory, ATL. Prior to achieving this distinction, he earned 4 master's degrees in Counseling Psychology from Boston University, Business Administration from University of Minnesota, Carlson School of Management, Organizational Development from Fielding Graduate University, and Public Administration from Harvard University, John F. Kennedy School of Government. Dr. Jackson has trained students, faculty, and staff at colleges and universities throughout the United States and across the world, including Harvard University, Cornell University, the University of Maryland, Duke University, Dunwoody Institute, Earlham College, the College of St. Scholastica, Gustavus Adolphus College, Washburn University, the United States Military Academy at West Point, and many others.
I really enjoyed your session on finding your flow in conversation. I'm motivated and energized this past weekend and will definitely be using the tools to set a strong foundation within our department. Again, thank you for your knowledge and expertise.
A few weeks ago, I attended one of your events at University of Maryland. I just wanted to say thank you for what you taught me that day. It's really made a significant impact on my life, and after learning about flow, I made a spreadsheet and started taking an inventory of all the different arenas in my life. I started to see a bigger picture in terms of my life. Flow is one of the most important things I've ever learned.
I wanted to thank you for the wonderful presentations that you did for professional staff members at the LEAD 365 conference. I learned a lot from both that I attended and have been actively working on utilizing resources that I learned to make my work environment better and more productive.
Harvard Kennedy School students who took the Finding Your Flow workshop found it very helpful in identifying their personal drivers to peak performance. Participants left with a clear action plan to translate key principles into daily practice.
The positive comments of satisfied attendees go on and on and on.